Rejoice is bad, Pantene is good. Or when you say it like, in my opinion, Pantene is better than Rejoice. What's the difference between these two? Put down in the comment below and see what is the difference. Alright? Another example would be, don't buy Pantene because it's expensive. Or will you say it like this? Pantene has some great ingredients in it, but in terms of price, Rejoice helps you save more. So what is the difference between these two? Would you say in the first way, or will you say in the second way? Now, let's move into the video. Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. My name is Muhammad Shazwan. I will be presenting about ELC650, which is speaking, contributing to group discussion. Today's topic is about group discussion. How do you contribute to group discussion? This slide is prepared by your item Shah Alam. So without further ado, let's look at what you will be learning and what you will be delving into today. Now, group discussion. There are certain steps that you need to take when you are doing a group discussion. This is important because you need to know what do you need to prepare, how do you start the discussion, how do you maintain, and how do you close this discussion. Because discussion will take some quite of time and you need to make sure that you will be able to start it well. How do you keep on making up details that can fit into the discussion? How do you making sure that the discussion continue on, and how do you end the discussion properly? Okay? Because main aim of a discussion is to find a solution or solve a problem. Okay, so for the learning outcomes, you will be using negotiation strategies to contribute to the group discussion. How do you negotiate information between one another? How do you ask for it? How do you give information? And how do you contribute into the group discussion? You will use tactful strategies in discussions, use appropriate phrases to make suggestions, use appropriate expressions to give opinions, use appropriate expressions to agree and disagree, use appropriate prompting, turn-taking, interrupting, and resuming strategies. So those are what you will need to do when you are doing a group discussion to ensure that the group discussion is flowing well, is moving forward to the aim that you want to achieve. Right? So these are some of the expressions that we usually found when people are doing group discussion. There are some others, but this is what I usually see. Okay, people use like I think, then they give their opinions. For example, like, I think that this is better. Pantene is better than Rejoice because of what? Okay, and then you can use like that's true, but you want to continue. That's true. I think Rejoice is better, but Pantene can become a good alternative. You are giving your opinion. Okay? You can use however and yeah, but this is what you are doing. You want to giving out your opinion while you are agreeing or you are disagreeing. Okay. You made a good point, but also I would like to add, this is where you want to continue on. And then you want to interrupt, you want to ask them questions. So those are some of the phrases that you can use. You want to prevent them from interrupting, and then you are continuing on, and then you want to finish off. Okay. So maintaining a discussion. Maintaining means that you are making sure that the discussion is moving forward. You are moving from one point to another point until you reach the consensus and you reach the conclusion. So how do you keep on maintaining discussion? There are several ways. First things first, you can express your agreement or disagreement, whether you agree or you disagree. If you agree, then you can say something like, yes, you are right. Yes, I think that you are correct. I believe that you are true. But if you disagree, you can say something like that. I'm sorry, I don't really agree with you. I think that you are not entirely correct. Maybe there are other options. That is how you agree and disagree. Second one, you can offer opinions or suggestions, meaning that you want to add on your points. you want to give suggestions to improve on something. For example, that someone give their opinion, you want to add on it. Maybe you have a better idea or similar idea but is improved of the person's ideas, then you can offer opinions or suggestions. You can sort of phrases like, in my opinion, or personally I believe that, or I suggest that we, or why don't you. You are prompting them to listen to your opinions. Okay, you're making sure that they listen to the opinions. You are trying to convince them that your opinions are better than theirs. Okay. Third one, sometimes you are not clear on what they are speaking of. Okay, or maybe you want to find out more about what they are speaking, what we are talking about. So you can ask question to seek clarification. A lot of questions can be used, but some of the samples are, what do you mean by that, or what do you mean by the idea that they have mentioned, or maybe you can explain further. So those are the ways for you to maintain a discussion. This is important. Why you need to use it, but after you use it, remember that you have to justify, especially when you are disagreeing and you are agreeing and disagreeing with someone. Why are you disagreeing with that person? Why are you agreeing? Without justification, your opinions are not strong enough. Okay, so maybe in a meeting, when they ask you for your opinion, you give something like, I agree, and you finish, then people will say that, oh, you are not contributing, you are not providing any good input, and you are not professional. You are, maybe we don't need you. Maybe there are consequences of what you will do. So justify why it is like that. Okay, why do you say that? When you offer opinions and suggestions, also you need to give your opinions, right? You need to give justification. Other than that, you can request for repetition. You want to ask them to repeat back what they have said before. You can do it like, if you can explain again what you have said just now, I don't really get it, or I'm not clear about certain parts. Maybe you don't maybe the person is talking very softly or something, or maybe they are very like unclear what they are saying, so you can request for repetition. Okay, you mind explaining it again? I didn't quite get that what you have said, something like that. And while someone is speaking, you can interrupt, meaning that you want to stop them from talking, but you need to do it properly, rather than you just pinch the person's mouth and stop them from talking. No, or maybe you put your hands in front of their mouth. No, do it properly, like maybe raising your hands and maybe waiting they have finished. Wait, they have finished with their points, and then you interrupt. For example, like, I think it's better. Okay, excuse me, can I interrupt? I think that what you have said has been disproven or something like that. You want to interrupt them. You want to stop them from continuing on. And sometimes interrupting is a good way to prevent someone from going out of topic. For example, maybe someone they have discussing something that is not part of your discussion. Maybe they include something different, something like when you talk about the products, they talk about the methods. Then you can interrupt them. Excuse me, I think that the discussion have veered off. Can we go back to the topic? You can interrupt people, no problem. But do it in a proper and what we call polite way, rather than being rude and stopping them. Okay, no problem for you to interrupt, but just wait for your turn. And then you can invite other people to speak. Maybe you see the person is not talking, is very quiet, then you can ask them to speak. How do you do that? Call out their names and then ask them any kind of question. What do you think? What is your opinion? You think that this is a good idea? Maybe you want to elaborate or something? You can ask them, what do you think? We haven't heard from you this point, Ali or Abu or something. So you can ask others to speak. Good way for you to move on. For example, you have no ideas. You don't know how to continue. You have blank. You are drawing blanks. Ask other questions. Ask other people's questions. So you can pass the turn to another person, meaning that you are safe, then the other person will be in charge of the discussion. So ask questions, no worries. Invite them to speak. Alright, so other examples of expressions. You will have a lot of this. Okay, if you want to add more information, you can use something like in addition, moreover, other than that, as you have mentioned, and I would like to add that. Okay, because like I said, when you want to justify, you need to add more and more. You have to elaborate. So this is good way for you to use in your information. Or maybe you want to add another point to your original point, so use expressions of this. Okay, then maybe people you want to ask people for clarification. Some of the words maybe you don't want to say pardon, can you repeat that? Maybe like feel like you are being rude, you can use some of this. Could you go over that again, because I'm not really clear about what has been mentioned, or maybe I'm afraid that we don't really understand. Could you repeat that? Could you clarify it better? Explain it again. Quick phrases that feels it's not very threatening to the other person. Okay, I'm not sure I follow you. Do you say that? So just use some of this. Okay, if you are not clear on what the person has been saying, if you are just trying to prank the other person, don't do that. Okay, so if you want the clarification, just use some of these phrases. You're asking for opinion, suggestion, or reasons. These are some of what you can do. What do you think? What is your opinion? What do you suggest? How do you feel about? Okay, and agree with someone. Okay, when you are disagreeing with someone, these are some of the phrases that you can use. Yes, I agree with you. I agree that this is better than that. Okay, I strongly agree that. Right? I think you are right. I completely or definitely agree with you. But remember, when you agree, please justify why. Why do you agree with that person? Okay? You just do not say, I agree, finish. That means that your contribution is not strong enough. Okay? Disagree with someone, same. Back to differ, I'm not sure I agree with you. This is just the negative of the earlier one. And yes, justify. Okay? Justify why do you disagree. Okay? Then this is interrupting. Some of the other examples. Excuse me, may I? Maybe if you want to raise your hands, or maybe you like just say excuse me. Then maybe the person will respond to you. Then you ask, okay. And then emphasizing a point. This means that you are focusing on a particular point. You want to make sure that people really understand the point, or maybe the point that someone else have mentioned. You want to make sure that people really see that this is important. You use some of this. It seems to me that this is very beneficial to us compared to the other suggestions, meaning that you are putting focus on one singular point, okay, or one singular idea. I think that the best idea is this one. So you're emphasizing upon. As far as I can see, this one triumphs the others. Okay, and I personally believe that this person is able to do it well. You're emphasizing a point. You're putting focus on a particular thing. Like I said, inviting others to speak, to give opinion, call their names, or maybe you call maybe they call the title if you know. What's your opinion about this? I wonder if you like to comment on, and how do you feel? This is usually done by the what we call it, the so-called leader of the discussion, because your group discussion, you need to have someone who takes control of the discussion, because the person needs to make sure that everyone in the group is contributing, as well as making sure that the discussion is moving on. Okay, so you need to have a so-called floor manager for you to manage everyone and everything in the group discussion. So that's basically it. All right, so we'll go back to the earlier slides. This one, rejoice is bad, parenting is good. In my opinion, Pantene is better than Rejoice. So when you just say the first sentence, it feels like you're just giving your opinion broadly. When in the second one, you are like giving something that is a bit clearer, because the first one means like you are saying that everyone thinks that someone is this is better than that. But in the second one, you more like it is your opinion rather than others people's opinions. For the second one, when you mention something like this, an opinion, this is an opinion, okay? Don't buy Pantene because it's expensive, right? This is an opinion. But when I say when you are giving your opinion, you must justify why, okay? This is a clearer elaboration of your own original opinion, okay? Pantene has some great ingredients in it, but in terms of price, Rejoice helps you save more. So you are elaborating why you say it is expensive, okay? So remember that, because it's very clear that it is very important that you need to clarify why you say a particular opinion, because people will look at you and want to ask for clarification if they are not clear on what you have said. So basically that is it for today. Thank you so much for listening to me. My name is Mr. Shahzwan. I hope you have understood what we have learned today, and we'll see you in the next one. Good day to you all. See you.